Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. In this video, I'd just like to briefly talk about a fantastic book I got. Well, I actually ordered it for Christmas, but unfortunately it didn't arrive until a couple of days after. And that book is called Tales from the Crypt, the official EC archives. Now, if you're a Tales from the Crypt fan, this is an absolute Bible, guys. It's an absolute mine of information. You've got the Crypt Keeper there on the front from the American TV series and that, yeah. So I've wanted this book for so long, and when I saw it, because when I've looked at in the past, when I've looked at copies available online, they've been astronomical. I mean, some of the prices they were charging for this book, with it being out of print, were absolutely ridiculous. But I managed to find a book site that had reasonably priced books and that, So when I seen this on sale, guys, I immediately had to have it and that, yeah. So if you're not familiar with this book, I'll just read you the blurb on the back just to give you an idea. Right, so open the vault and relive the experience. Yeah, for 47 years, the Crypt Keeper and Tales from the Crypt have captured the imaginations and scared the wits out of people with their ghostly stories and grisly visions. Here, finally, is the book that looks back fondly on all the glorious gore, the ultimate coffin table book that includes the official biography of the Crypt Keeper and the history of EC horror comics, a previously unpublished picto-fiction horror story drawn by Jack Davis. Now this is my favourite part of the book, all 105 EC horror comic covers reproduced in living colour, and a pictorial filmography of the award-winning HBO and Fox television series Tales from the Crypt, featuring credits, synopsis and at least one terrific picture from every episode. Now, 4 original and complete stories by Jack Davis, Al Feldstein, Graham Ingalls and Jack Kamen, reprinted from the actual art and reproduced in colour in their original size. Brief biographies and portfolios of the key EC artists, collectibles section highlighting the coolest and most valuable Crypt merchandise, and much more of corpse. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Yeah, and there's the chap there at the bottom responsible for putting the book together. Yeah, Digby Dial. Yeah, as I say, if you're a Tales from the Crypt fan, if you love not only the original movie from 1972, but also, the TV series and all the EC comics, this is the definitive volume to get, because it covers everything about Tales from the Crypt, from it, the comic series, the initial inception and that, and all the trouble he had with the censors and that in America, wanting to ban them and that, because he said they were too explicit and that, and too extreme. It tells you all about the artists and that, all the comics. I'll give you a look. I'll give you a sneak preview anyway. I'll just open the book for you and just show you a little bit inside. Really made up with this book, guys. Yeah, absolutely love Tales from the Crypt. Go. Yeah, there you go. In the beginning, as I say, the initial, the inception of the EC horror comic series and that, yeah. Yeah, it's a fantastic book, guys. It really is. Yeah, the beginning of the golden age, the grisly creativity of William Gaines. Yeah, really made up with this, guys, yeah. What they are, the Crypt of Terror, one of the first Tales from the Crypt comics. Very well put together. Here's a big enlargement of it, guys. Never ever thought I'd get this book, at a reasonable price and that, yeah. So really excited. They are, guys, a sample of the classic covers, the EC comics. The artists were extremely consummate, the illustrations and that, yeah. There you go, shock suspense stories. Yeah, just look at that, guys. That artwork is absolutely impeccable. Here's the Crypt Keeper. Quite different in appearance to that version as portrayed in the Tales from the Crypt 1972 movie, which starred Ralph Richardson. And then you've got the puppets from the, you know, the American Tales from the Crypt series, the Babylon puppets, as they, all right, kiddies, this little tale tonight. Yeah, oh yeah, I've got all those on DVD. Fantastic series. I wish they'd do a Blu-ray release of them. Yeah. They are the EC constellation of comic book artists, guys. Oh, this is an absolute beauty of a book, this. It really is. I shall treasure this always. Tells you everything about the whole EC horror comics history and that, you know, yeah. Gorgeous book. Takes me back to when as a kid, when I used to get you know, in the early 70s, when I used to get all those lovely Christmas annuals and that, you know, I get about 10 of them and that, you know, yeah, all piled up and that, yeah. And my auntie used to leave off them every week in the paper shop at the top of our road and that, you know. And it's exciting like Christmas week when she brought them home in a brown paper bag and put them on the top of the cupboard and that, you know, yeah. Oh, the memories, guys, I tell you. Done a couple of what's the name stories as well, guys. Crime suspense stories. Yeah, and here we go, guys. This is my favourite part of the book. Every single cover of the original EC comics is reproduced here, guys. Fantastic. Just look at that. Isn't that lovely? If you're as I say, if you're a Tales from the Crypt fan, you know, I'd highly recommend that you get yourself a copy of this book. It's an absolute mine of information. Covers everything. I say, it covers the comics, it covers the movies, and it covers the American TV series. Look at that, guys. Makes you wish you still had every single issue of those comics. You'd actually see them. I've been to a couple of comic fairs in Liverpool over the years, and now and again you might see one of these copies, you know, Vault of Horror Tales from the Crypt, you know, on sale with the deals, but they're to go for about £50 and £100. Some of them, you know, very expensive, you know, yeah. But there you go. Absolutely beautiful book, this, guys. Really is. Must have been very, very, well, I know it was very, very annoying for the people who bought the comics then when they banned them and that, you know, yeah. I mean, compared to what they're publishing now and that, you know, yeah. There's a great enlargement, guys. It tells from the Crypt cover. And you've got some of the artwork reproduced. Yeah. The fans keeping the flame alive. I don't blame them as well, yeah. Yeah. Gorgeous book, this, guys. It really is, yeah. And there's the movie, Tales from the Crypt, 1972. The famous Joan Collins Santa Claus scene. Every story in that, guys, is it's fantastic. Yeah, there's not one bad story in Arthur Grimsdyke, the Peter Cushing one, which is very, very sad as well. And that, you know, yeah, talked about that a few times in my videos. Yeah, my all-time favourites horror anthology, Tales from the Crypt, and they actually reproduced them as well a few years ago. So if you look on Amazon, you'll be able to get some of these in hardback. There he is, guys. Kiddies. All right, kiddies, the Crypt Keeper. Good how they done that. It's good how they done that puppets in that series and that, you know, yeah. Fancy special effects. And I love the opening part as well, like the sort of like the funereal music. The opening, you know, the TV series, like, and it takes you, it goes into this big old creepy house, and it takes you past the stairs and that, you know, and it goes down into the crypt and that, you know, and as it's winding down, you know, one of the best openings to any horror TV series, guys, and that, you know, yeah, they're really on the money when they made that series and that, yeah, it takes you right down to this seemingly eternally winding staircase and that, you know, and then it goes down, then the doors fling open, and then you get the Crypt Keeper cackling and that, you know. Oh, pure TV magic, guys. I wish they'd remake the series, yeah. Well, if they were going to remake the series, I would not like the Crypt Keeper to be taken away, because they were considering that actually a couple of years ago, what they were going to do, they were going to remake it, but they weren't going to include the framing part of the Crypt Keeper. Bad mistake, bad mistake. So if there's any producers watching this, if you're thinking about, you know, if you're contemplating remaking Tales from the Crypt series, make sure you include the Crypt Keeper, or at least some kind of bookending horror character in that, you know, yeah. There you are, tells you about the bringing the Crypt Keeper to life, guys. Yeah, everything you could possibly want to know about Tales from the Crypt is in this book. It's even got a breakdown of each episode as well. There's a lovely Demi Moore there, guys, from one of the episodes. Yeah, it's got an actual breakdown of every episode that was included. I think it was about 7 series altogether, and it's got a little synopsis of each you know, of each episode and that. Yeah, it's like the Twilight Zone guide what I've got. It breaks down each episode and discusses the characters and that, the plots and that. Love anything like that and that. Of course, with me being a writer, you know, it's additionally interesting for me and that, you know, yeah. Love to see how the stories are constructed and that, you know, yeah. And the effects, the special effects and all that, you know, yeah. Love all that. They made quite a few series, as I say, you know. And sometimes they have like guest stars and that, you know, in many of the episodes and that, yeah. There's the Demon Knight one. Yeah, I have to say I wasn't too keen on the Demon Knight one, but I liked the Bordello of Blood one. That was very good. The Tales from the Crypt movie. They made 2. I think they made another one as well called Ritual. That wasn't too bad, but I did prefer the Bordello of Blood one. Yeah, they are Demon Knights. Yeah, I tried to get into that, guys, but you know, I couldn't. I didn't think it was as good as Bordello of Blood, to be honest with you. Yeah, Bordello of Blood. Bordello of Blood. More illustrations, guys. Yeah, so there you go, guys. That's me review of the Tales from the Crypt, the official EC Archives. Absolutely fantastic book, this, guys. Yeah, it's the ultimate book on everything about it's basically an A to Z compendium of Tales from the Crypt, you know, as I say, the whole series and that, you know, yeah. And absolutely fantastic book. I'm really made up with this, yeah. Yeah, absolutely love Tales from the Crypt, as I say, in that, you know, yeah, some fantastic stories, and I love the twists as well, you know, the little twists at the end and that, you know, yeah, many of which you don't see coming and that, you know, yeah. As I say, back in the 50s and that, you know, this series, it did gain something of a notorious reputation, like, you know, for saying like it was a bad influence on people and that, you know, and the stories were too explicit. But as I say, compared to now, you know, these are a walk in the park and that, you know, because some of the stuff what they're doing now, both in comics and in movies and that, you know, it really goes beyond all, it breaks a lot of boundaries and that, yeah. But these are just harmless fun and that, you know, yeah. These actually later on, when I was that's about 7 or 8 or 9, like I used to buy all the DC comics and that. I was a huge fan of Superman and Batman. And I also like the Marvel comics, you know, with Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my favourite hero in the Marvel comics. But in regard to the DC, as well as doing the superheroes, they've done a horror series, actually. Some of you, you know, might know what I'm talking about if you remember them. My favourite one was The Witching Hour, in which you get these 3 witches, something like Tales from the Crypt. You get these 3 witches. They'd introduce a story. Each witch would introduce a story, and it'd be like Tales from the Crypt and that, you know, and it'd be a little twist at the end. Yeah, they were very good. The Witching Hour, if any of you like, you can track those down, like, in that, you know. I think they've done a book containing some of the stories as they've done with excuse me, Tales from the Crypt, yeah. And then you had the House of Mystery, and then you had the House of Secrets. It with Cain, one had Cain in, and one had Abel in, and they pretty much like the Crypt Keeper in Tales from the Crypt. They would introduce each story, and then you'd have a twist at the. I absolutely love those comics, guys. Yeah. There used to be a shop in Liverpool. I think it was in North John Street, where you'd go down. I think it's a jeweller's now. You'd go down. If anybody remember it, like from Liverpool, you know, like leave a comment and that. You go down, like, and they'd have this guy to steal. Like, we'd have hundreds and hundreds of comics in cardboard boxes. And I used to love going down there and, you know, getting some comics and they're pretty cheap in those days, yeah. Especially around about 1978, 79, I frequented there quite a lot in that, you know. And come home with a big sort of like bundle under my arm, you know, House of Mystery, The Witching Hour and that, yeah. Oh yeah, those are the days, guys, yeah. But getting back to this, guys, yeah. As I say, if you love Tales from the Crypt, I'd highly recommend that you get yourself a copy of this, because it is the ultimate, the definitive book on everything about Tales from the Crypt, you know, you could possibly want to know. And yeah, I could sit here all afternoon talking about Tales from the Crypt and all my favourite stories and that, because I love the series that much and that. And as I say, the original 1972 movie is my all-time favourite horror anthology. Yeah. Okay, guys, well, do you like Tales from the Crypt? What's your favourite story? What's your favourite, you know, the one that you really sort of like you go back to again and again and that, yeah? Do you have any of the old EC comics, yeah? Oh, yeah, comment down below, yeah? Always like to receive your comments and respond and that, you know, yeah? But, oh, yeah, I'm really in love with this book, guys. Yeah, I think I've gone on enough about it now anyway, yeah. Okay, so I'll wind this video up now, yeah? Okay, so take care. I'll talk to you all again soon. Cheers.